Hold on to your fedoras, folks, because we're heading to a land of magic and mystery called Middle-earth. In The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, we meet little Frodo Baggins, a humble hobbit with big furry feet and even bigger problems. His dear Uncle Bilbo leaves him a plain gold ring, except this trinket's no ordinary bauble. It's the One Ring, forged by the Dark Lord Sauron to rule them all. Wise old wizard Gandalf gets the wind up and sends Frodo on a quest. Tagging along is Frodo's loyal sidekick Sam, who's equal parts heart, courage, and downright stubbornness. They're joined by the mischievous duo Merry and Pippin, who provide laughs like a pair of vaudeville comics. Together, they meet Aragorn, a ranger with a destiny bigger than a dragon's grin. Legolas, the elven archer who's deadlier with a bow than Cupid on Valentine's Day. Gimli, the gruff dwarf who'd rather swing an axe than shake a hand. And Boromir, a noble man with a weakness for shiny objects. Under the watchful eyes of elven Lord Elrond and his enchanting daughter Arwen, who's got a twinkle in her eye for Aragorn, they form a ragtag fellowship sworn to protect Frodo. But it's no walk in the Shire, folks. The dastardly Saruman, once Gandalf's ally, is now Sauron's stooge, brewing trouble at Isengard faster than a pot of chili on a Sunday afternoon. Orcs, trolls, and ring-wraiths plague our heroes at every turn, while poor old Gollum slithers in the shadows muttering about precious this and precious that. As they journey across treacherous mountains, through underground cities, and down roaring rivers, the Fellowship must keep the ring out of Sauron's flaming eye, and their own hearts free of its terrible temptation. Will Frodo shoulder this mighty burden, or will the dark power consume them all faster than you can say second breakfast? Prepare for sword-swinging battles, close shaves, and a little magic along the way. The Fellowship of the Ring will have you cheering, gasping, and laughing like a kid in a candy store. And that's a promise from Middle-earth to Main Street. Prepare for a rollicking return to Middle-earth. In the Two Towers, our heroes are scattered like leaves in an autumn breeze, and the stakes are higher than a hot air balloon at noon. The Fellowship is broken, but hope springs eternal. Just don't tell that to the orcs. First, let's check on Frodo and Sam, trudging through craggy landscapes with the weight of the One Ring heavier than Aunt Mildred's fruitcake. Enter Gollum, a slinky fellow with eyes like marbles and manners worse than a grumpy goose. Can he be trusted? Or is he more slippery than a banana peel on an ice rink? Meanwhile, Merry and Pippin, those plucky hobbits, find themselves the guests of marching monsters. Don't fret. They'll end up meeting Treebeard, a talking tree older than your grandma's cookbook. He's as slow and steady as a Sunday driver, but might just shake the forest awake. Elsewhere, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli track their hobbit pals with a determination sharper than Gimli's axe. Their journey leads them to the kingdom of Rohan, where old King Theoden has gone crankier than a rusty hinge, thanks to the whisperings of the slimy Grima Wormtongue. With a little help from Gandalf the White, back from his fall like a magician returning from a death-defying trick, Theoden shakes off his curse and rallies his horsemen. That's where you'll meet Eomer, who rides with hair flowing and sword blazing, and the spirited Éowyn, who dreams of deeds on the battlefield instead of dusty chores. But hold your horses. The dark wizard Saruman sits in his tower plotting like a chess master gone mad. He's sending out nasty orcs, all while pulling strings for a war that'll shake the ground. Over in Gondor, Faramir wrestles with big decisions, honor or obsession. Meanwhile, Arwen and Elrond debate the future like two fortune-tellers at a fun fair, uncertain if hope or despair awaits. As armies march and horns echo, the grand battle at Helm's Deep looms large. A fortress on a rainy night, besieged by countless foes. Lightning flashes, swords swing, arrows fly. Will our heroes hold out until dawn? The Two Towers. A gripping adventure that'll have you on the edge of your seat. Don't miss this whirlwind of wonders, 1950s 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 onto your hats because the return of the king is about to sweep you off your feet. The grand finale of the Middle-earth saga is here, and boy, is it a doozy, packed with sword-swinging heroes, spine-chilling villains, and more twists than a barrel of curly fries. Our Hobbit heroes Frodo and Sam inch ever closer to Mount Doom, trudging up rocky slopes that would make a mountain goat faint. With the One Ring heavier than a bowling ball made of lead, their only guide is the slippery Gollum. But wait! A giant spider named Shelob lurks in the shadows, ready to throw a hairy wrench in their plans. Yikes. Meanwhile, the armies of men, elves, and dwarves scramble to unite against the roaring might of Sauron. Or more specifically, the glaring eye of Sauron, always snooping like the nosiest neighbor on the block. Aragorn, our rugged ranger turned king, steps up to claim his crown, wielding the newly reforged sword of Elendil, a blade gleaming with ancestral valor, fit for a leader of legends. Flanked by the arrow-flinging Legolas and the axe-swinging Gimli, a trio tougher than old boot leather. Gandalf shines as a guiding beacon of wisdom while Merry and Pippin discover their inner heroes. Éowyn and Éomer rally Rohan's riders, and King Theoden charges into battle with all the grandeur of a regal freight train. Across the land, Faramir fights to defend Gondor, while his dad, Denethor, goes bonkers in a blaze of denial and despair. Within the white-walled stronghold of Minas Tirith, the City of Kings, hope flickers like a candle in a drafty hall as its defenders steel themselves for a storm of steel and fire. In the midst of war, Elrond supports Aragorn's claim, while Arwen prays for their future. Aragorn even recruits the King of the Dead and his spooky crew to lend a spectral hand, ghostly allies with a bone to pick. As the forces of good converge on the Black Gate, the mouth of Sauron hisses out chilling threats, and the dreaded Witch King of Angmar roars into battle. Don't worry, Éowyn's got a surprise that'll leave that fiend feeling flatter than a week-old pancake. Will Frodo and Sam outwit Gollum's greed and drop that meddlesome ring into the fiery depths? Will Aragorn claim his throne and unite the free peoples against darkness? With trumpets blaring, banners waving, and friendships forged in fire, the return of the king brings the saga to a triumphant, tear-jerking close. Strap in, folks. This is one grand adventure that'll ring through the ages.